I finally decided to sell my Toyota GR Yaris over here, guys. I've been talking about it for a while now. I've been hinting at it, and the time, guys, is finally here. And you know, on my page, my videos, what I preach, I talk about being financially responsible. I talk about living within your means, delaying your gratification. But end of the day, guys, we all have our poisons, right? You have to pick your poison. And for me, I love cars. I've lost a lot of money on cars. It pains me. It pains me to admit it. I lost so much money on cars. A lot of my BMW, more than $10,000. I had a Mazda MX-5 I purchased brand new. I lost a bunch of money on that in depreciation as well, more than $10,000. I've made some money on cars, but overall, guys, let's not get it twisted. I have lost money on cars. I bought my Toyota GR Yaris because I was in the middle of a build, and I owned my BMW at the time, my M235i. My M235i was a lovely car. Absolutely loved it, guys. But every 3 months, it was costing me more than $1,000. And I must admit, I became heavily paranoid about that car. I started doubting it. I started thinking, you know what? I have all this cash in this car. What if it just blows up one day, right? Because it was outside of warranty. It was consuming oil like a maniac. It would consume a liter every 4,000 kilometers. And I drive my cars hard. Maybe it had something to do with me, but that N55 engine was not known to be something that consumed oil. Mine was doing it. The mechanics were telling me it's okay. It was within the BMW ranges. I wasn't comfortable with it. I got rid of it and I bought my Toyota GR Yaris. This was a car that I bought to see me through that time in my life where I was building my house. I needed stability. I needed financial stability, something that had my back, something that wasn't breaking down on me. And the GR Yaris fulfilled its duty. I've driven it many thousand kilometers. I was looking at the used car prices. I could sell it effectively for the same price I bought it at. The only thing it's cost me is heavy maintenance. This car does have 6-month maintenance intervals, pretty hectic. But as I said, we all have our poison, right? You have to pick your poison. And the GR Yaris, while it has costed me a lot of money, I have enjoyed the ride. Now, my advice to all of you, if you're not car enthusiasts, is don't buy fancy cars, right? Just get yourself a basic Corolla, Yaris, or a Camry. Call it a day. You don't need anything else. But for those of you who like cars, you know what we suffer with. We've got to spend some money on cars. And that's where we are in the journey now with the GR Yaris. It is going, and I want to explain a few reasons as to why. The number one reason, guys, that the GR Yaris is going, and I was very upfront with you guys about it. This was a purchase of the mind, not the heart. I bought this car, as I said, because of my financial situation. I wanted to keep my money safe. This was more expensive than my BMW. Let's not get it twisted. This is a more expensive car, but I bought it because I wanted to feel secure and I wanted good resale value. This was a car that I wasn't totally in love with. My BMW, I was totally in love with. I've said it many times. I'm not afraid to admit it again and again. I didn't want to sell that BMW. I was in love with it. In the way it drove, the way it accelerated, the way that engine sounded. The GR Yaris, I don't think I've fallen in love with, and I've said that in many of my videos, but that's just on me, right? Doesn't mean that you can't fall in love with that car. It's just with me. So that's the first thing. It's a mind and heart sort of thing. This thing was very much with the mind, not so much with the heart, though I've enjoyed it a ton. The next element of this has to do with the doors, guys. Now, the GR Yaris only has 2 doors, very difficult. I've got young kids, and every time the passenger seat is automatic, so you have to pull the seat forward to put the kids in the back. That'll go back to its position, but if I pull the driver's seat forward, that doesn't reset to its original position. So I'm just in pain in that way. Is that a big deal? No, but that's probably not a sacrifice I want to make. I'm 32. My back already hurts. It shouldn't be hurting, right? But we all develop some sort of thing. It gets a bit frustrating sometimes. Apart from that, I want to take my family out on trips. I've got a Corolla Cross Hybrid, which is parked outside. That's our family car, but I like taking my family out in our fun car. And because of the space restrictions in the GR Yaris, not only is the seating inside very difficult, but even the boot is very small. Because of that, I just find that I'm not taking the family out in this car. I'm taking the Corolla Cross Hybrid. And, that's just not who I am. That's not kind of how I want to live my weekends. This has effectively been a car that just I drive or myself with my friends, and I want to bring my family in on the fun as well. So that's a big element. Now, third element has to do with the performance. This car has a beautiful engine, 3-cylinder motor, legendary rally bred engine, okay? No issues with it. But it's not the engine and drivetrain for me, and it has to do with the engine and transmission. With my BMW, I had a 6-cylinder turbo, 0 to 100, I think around 4.8 seconds or so. I feel like it did it faster. ZF8 gearbox. I loved that combination. This is a manual. I've been driving manuals for more than a decade. I'm at a stage of my life, guys, where I've been there and done that. I'm ready for the autos. I love that auto. The pedal shifters, they give you all the fun, right? I'm not saying this applies to you. This just applies to me. With this engine and gearbox, I have to be on it day and night. I've got to shift it. Sometimes I'm shifting it into first gear, guys. It's too much. I want that torque. This engine, it is special, but everything is at the top of the rev band. Everything's at that high RPM. If you're a boy racer, it's great. Okay, certainly. I'm not saying it's not good. If you're a boy racer, it's great. But for me and where I am at this phase of my life, this engine and this transmission is just too much of a workaround. Now, I will say on a mountain road, this engine and this car is blowing everything away. I've said it many times. My friend's got a Supra. I've been out with cars that are 3-4 times the price of this, and I'm having to stop and wait for people because of how good this car is. But end of the days, guys, I only hit the mountains and the hills twice a year or so. The other 363 days of the year, I'm just out in the suburbs, going to the train station, just doing my thing. The juice isn't worth the squeeze, right? For those couple of days, I then suffer the rest of the time. I do also think the interior of this car is pretty basic. It's not giving me the goods. It is based on a Yaris platform, end of the day. My BMW spoiled me little bit, but even my Corolla Cross, right, that interior is really nice. The GR Yaris interior is just not up to that level that I need at this stage. Nothing wrong with it. It's got all the mod cons, heated seats, all that stuff. It's just not quite what I need it to be. So that's a few of my reasons for selling it. I'm not enjoying the performance the way I want to enjoy it. I don't have the space. I'm not quite happy with the interior, but it is satisfying its purpose of keeping my money safe. So that's where we are. It's going up for sale soon. I'm just doing the paperwork. I'll take you guys through the process of what that's going to look like because you're on my page. You're on my car journey. You're going to be through this with me. I do have a few options. I'm not going to, leave you waiting. Very much at the top of my list is a Golf R, a Mark 8 Golf R, a DSG transmission, and I'll explain my reasoning. I haven't test driven that car yet. I've test driven the Mark 7.5 GTI. I haven't test driven the Mark 8 GTI or Mark 8 Golf R. I was thinking of the Subaru WRX, the VB WRX, but again, that's a manual. I don't want to get the CVT version. Civic Type R is a manual. BMWs, Audis, Mercedes, I'd have to get something that has done its warranty, be outside of warranty. And like I preach on my page, I'm not about that life. I don't want a headache. I don't want a car outside of warranty. So it's got to be probably a VW product because it is in that affordability range where I can get it with a bit of warranty, get it mildly used, have its warranty, have the performance. So that's where I am. The Golf R effectively doesn't depreciate all that much as well. It's no GR Yaris, it's no Civic Type R for sure, but it's no BMW, Audi, or Mercedes as well in terms of depreciation. I'll leave it there. Have a good day.